Now, House Democrats are moving ahead with their push to strip freshman Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of her committee assignments. This comes after House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy tried to rally for an alternative form of punishment for Greene, following a slew of comments she made before entering Congress. So joining us now to discuss this is Quick Takes Madison Mills. Maddie, tell us the latest in these developments from House leaders and what these discussions are about. You know, are there any potential punishments that they are proposing as alternatives, or, excuse me, what have these conversations entailed, rather?
Absolutely, Renita. So we're hearing that House Democrats are really boxing in the GOP over this issue of Representative Greene. Like you mentioned, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy did meet with Greene last night. We're hearing that in that meeting, he implored her to potentially apologize for these comments. On Twitter today, she is doing the opposite of that. She's really doubling down on these comments that she's been heavily criticized for by members across the aisle of Congress here. House Minority Leader McCarthy also suggested the idea of potentially getting her removed from one of her committee positions as opposed to both as sort of a compromise. He pitched that to Democrats, and they basically said, no dice, we want her to be fully rebuked by removing her from multiple positions as kind of a sign that they do not accept this behavior from elected officials who are part of Congress.
Maddie, do we know yet how congressional leaders on both sides of the aisle are expected to respond to Greene's comments?
Right, so moving ahead to tomorrow, we are expecting that House Democrats, again, are going to move forward with a vote to strip Representative Greene of her committee appointments. We also are hearing that House Minority Leader McCarthy had a meeting with several Republican leaders today, including Liz Cheney, who's also on the chopping block a bit, with some suggesting that she get removed from her committee appointments because she voted for Trump's impeachment. So she was included in these meetings over Greene's fate earlier today. We are being told that there was not a final decision made in those meetings because GOP leaders are really sort of at odds with themselves right now, right? It's a tough decision for them because they don't want to go through the embarrassment of having one of their members removed from a position of power. Some of them have said they'd rather just have this be swept under the rug, but others are, really eager to separate themselves and distance themselves from some of the comments that we've heard from Representative Greene. So we're really seeing a lot of division and turmoil within the GOP that's kind of represented by this decision about what to do over Greene.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.